All right, yesterday we broke down the mindset ideas behind how to unlock real confidence. And today it's all about action. So, because courage isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. If you want to grow your brand, your business, and your belief in yourself, you need to take courage every single day. So, today I want to talk to you about in the episode of the Daily Mastermind the real world strategies to take bold steps, even when fear is screaming out at you. You're going to learn a little bit more about how to journal your wins, shift your mindset and build confidence like a muscle. This isn't motivational stuff, it's practical formulas that I've used and strategies and tactics to gain traction fast and stay consistent when everything feels uncertain. So if you've been stuck in your head a little bit, today's definitely be a good day for you. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. And yesterday we broke down the mindset behind confidence, but today let's get tactical, let's get practical, and I'll walk you through some specific ways to build courage, take action, and stack wins starting today. So, just as a review, we talked about the truth behind confidence yesterday, and we talked about the myth that confidence comes first, when truly the only thing that you can really focus on is your courage because courage will help you to take the action and then that will help you to stack wins. And when you stack wins in your life, your confidence and belief in yourself all go up. We also talked about the confidence cycle and how courage will lead to taking action, and then action gets you more wins, and wins lead to confidence through your increase in belief. So I encouraged you to do some courage based goals, which would be action based. So I hope you did that. But today, let's talk about practical ways that you can build courage. And really, what it boils down to is just taking action. So, let me talk to you about that for a minute. When you take courage reps, this is the part that I want you to really ingrain in your head. What are ways that you can take courage? David Goggins talks about doing difficult things every day because it leads to confidence, success, and all those types of wins, stacking wins, and training yourself. This is no different. Daily courage reps. That's what we're talking about because you know as well as I do that the more you are courageous, the more you're outside your comfort zone, the more repetition, the more frequency, the more your confidence is going to go up. Bottom line. So I'm really doubling down on this because it's about taking courage, not necessarily practicing confidence. So, for example, post a reel. Even if you feel imposter syndrome creeping up on you and you don't feel qualified and you wonder what people are going to say, post that reel anyway. How about reaching out to someone you admire that you wonder whether or not they would even take your call, or you wonder whether you're, in their league, but reach out to them anyway. Ask them to be part of your mastermind or be a mentor. How about making an offer before you're ready? How many of you sit back and you think, I really need to create the right offer. I need to get the outline done. I need to get the right landing page. Just make an offer. I mean, I know people that are crushing it with nothing but a Google Doc. So make an offer. It's about taking courage and knowing that you are going to build your confidence, belief, and everything along the way. And one of the best ways to do this, I found, when you're trying to train your brain and you're trying to train your habits and discipline, use a journal. Call it a courage journal if you want, because what you focus on grows. And so when you log it and you track it and you memorialize it, we'll call it, that is going to help train you to take courage. So call it a courage journal. Log at least one bold action every single day, one win every single day. I promise you. In fact, I challenge you that if all you did in your life was took one bold action outside of your comfort zone every single day, I promise you, you will be building evidence, stacking wins, getting momentum. It's the same thing that Alex Hermosi talks about. You've got to build evidence. Nothing trumps evidence that you have for creating confidence. Confidence is going to come from stacking the wins. Now, Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds doubt and fear, but action breeds confidence and courage. So like I said, more action, more courage. More courage and action builds your confidence. So you've got to get a way to formalize this taking action on a day-to-day basis. And a journal is a great way to do that. Now, I want you to think about something else because your mindset is going to need to shift to sustain courage. Because, I mean, look, bottom line is discomfort is the price of growth. You're going to have to live outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to accept that, decide to be that, and practice it ongoing. There's no period of time where operating outside your comfort zone for a little while will get you where you need to be. You've got to continue to grow, so you have to continue to operate outside your comfort zone. And so what you need to do in order to shift this mindset, what I've learned that I needed to do was you have to reframe failure. There are no losses. There's only lessons. It's like that article I did a while back with my mentor, Robert Stuberg, where, failure is the gateway to success. When you recognize that and you adopt that philosophy that failure is the gateway to success, then there are no losses. Nelson Mandela said, you either win or you learn. You win or you learn. There's no losses. So, the bottom line is focus on effort, not just results. When you focus on results, you're identifying losses and you're not, and it's hurting your confidence. But, there's another principle of shifting your mindset that I think is so important. And Ed Milet talks about it. Two parts. Number one, when you make a decision to do what you're going to do, flood yourself with certainty. And I love that suggestion that Ed did, because when you flood yourself with certainty, what does that mean? Surround yourself with the right people. Put things around you that inspire and motivate your confidence. Because when you decide to take bold action and you have a bunch of people around you that are, destroying your confidence, it's going to hurt you. So you have to make a decision to be confident and courageous, and take action, and then flood yourself with certainty. And remember, your mindset is constantly eroded by the broken promises you make to yourself. And what do I mean by that? You could be out there executing in business all you want, and when you tell yourself you're going to go to the gym and you don't do it, it's a problem. When you tell yourself you're going to eat right and you don't do it, it's a problem. When you tell someone you're going to follow through and you don't follow through, it's a problem. All these little things, these little broken promises to yourself, they erode at your confidence. And so it's important, if you're starting to build confidence through courage and action, that you recognize the things that are deteriorating your confidence, like broken promises to yourself. How you do anything is how you do everything. And so you've got to follow through on what you say you do. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with is, how does all of this talk about courage and action and confidence apply to your business? How does it apply to your business and, more specifically, your personal brand? Well, let's be honest. Your personal growth is directly in proportion to your business growth. Your personal growth will be in direct proportion to your business growth. So your personal brand is an extension of your personal growth, because you are your personal brand. So your personal confidence will create your personal brand. Confidence and courage will give you a strong personal brand. See, courage shows up in how you market yourself before you're known. Courage shows up in selling your service without all the pieces in place. Courage shows up in hiring or investing in your brand, not knowing if you're going to get an ROI. All of those pieces of courage and action in your business will help to inspire your confidence and to grow your business. Emerson said, do the thing and you will have the power. Do the thing and you will have the power, not figure it all out and then do the thing. I had a dentist that is a client of mine, Dr. Michael Bennett, and he is a sleep dental expert. He's not confident at being a speaker and a consultant, all these things, even though he's an expert at what he does. And yet he gets up and speaks, and he's been asked to go out to Asia and all over the world to speak. He gets up and does podcast episodes, even though he's not totally confident in doing it. And guess what? The action, the courage to do, and the action builds belief, builds more confidence, and before you know it, total confidence, total expert, total, authority in his field. And by the way, most experts have confidence issues. I will tell you right now, I've written checks to the biggest names out there, and many of them have confidence problems. There's only a couple that haven't. But the reason they don't is because they have trained themselves to be confident through their actions. So, how do you tie this to kind of your personal brand? Well, listen, building authority requires you to show up publicly, imperfectly, without knowing what to do, without the confidence. You've got to build a brand by acting before you have all the confidence. Authority is repetition, visibility, and courage. Repetition, visibility, and courage, because the confidence of you and your brand is going to come. It's being visible in your brand and in your business before you're comfortable being visible. And it's publishing content before you're polished. It's doing the act before you feel comfortable with it. I had a great interview the other day with Sabrina Eli at Cambry Capital, and not comfortable at all being on a podcast or an interview, but guess what? Crushed it, because most of the lack of confidence you all have is in your mind. And when you act, all of a sudden, more courage, more action, more confidence. You got to remind yourself, even the top creators started nervous, but they started anyway. And it's the starting that gets you where you want to be. That's the point I want to make to you. So here's the thing. The market rewards action takers, not perfectionists. Let me say that one more time for you. The market rewards action takers, courageous people, courage, not perfectionists, not perfect executors. So that's my message for today. I hope you've gotten something out of this confidence couple of episodes. You've realized that it's not about getting confidence. It's about having courage, taking action, and growing your confidence, working outside your comfort zone. And here's the thing. If you want help with your personal brand, here's what I'd recommend. Look, I've got a masterclass on Thursday nights, or not Thursday nights, on Thursday afternoon at 11 Mountain Time. If you want to come to an Authority Masterclass, where we'll walk you through all the strategies and tactics to be the authority in your brand, you'll walk away with everything that you need to be a leader in your market, and association breeds confidence. I always like that belief transference too. If you want to go to that, go check it out. Go to Authority Media Network or go to Daily Mastermind and click on the link, or you can go to Valiant CEO Magazine. We've got this masterclass running because we want to give for free all of the strategies and formulas that we've learned. And it fills up kind of quickly, so make sure you get in there and register for it. But the bottom line here is this. I want you to build your confidence, but confidence comes from courage. And I want you to know this. No matter where you are, no matter how far you are in your business, you're just getting started, you've had some setbacks, you've been beat down and beat up, or you're crushing it and you're wanting to go to the next level. Listen to me carefully. It is never too late to start creating the confidence that you have inside you. It's never too late to start living the life you were meant to live, but you've got to take action. And so I hope some of this will inspire and motivate you to do that. I hope some of the tips and strategies will. And do me a favor and share this show. Tag me in your post if you do, because I'd like to see what you're doing. I'll comment on those myself. It's not a team that does it. And you're welcome to hit me up on the Daily Mastermind as well. Send me a message. Let me know what you're working on. Let's celebrate some wins, or tell me what you're struggling with. I'd love to help you with all of the above. And I hope that you will take some action, take some courage, and that'll lead to your increases in confidence. That would be a mission accomplished in my mind. So I hope you have an amazing day. I'll look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Once again, this has been the Daily Mastermind. Talk with you soon.